Josh Culibao, UFC, lightweight. You're supposed to be a featherweight, but let's just for this fight, you're a lightweight. How does it feel when someone says that to you now? UFC fighter.
Uh, um, just hasn't sunken in yet, man. Honestly, it hasn't sunken in yet. Everything just feels like normal, just training. Um, it just like everything seems so crazy at the moment. Like I've got to go through all this paperwork and yeah, all the training on top of it. It hasn't. To me, nothing feels different besides people congratulating me before I've even won. Where if I was fighting locally, they'd wait till after I won to congratulate me. But they already seem to be congratulating me on just making it to the UFC. So nothing's different, man. Honestly.
You've been working so hard for the last couple years just to get to this point. Now it's like you're at the beginning of your career. Do you feel like this is the start of your career now?
For sure, 100%. This is where I'm going to make the biggest statement. I've got the most eyes on me. This is where I'm going to make the most money. It's definitely the biggest. It's the beginning of my career, and it's going to be every fight from here on out is going to be the biggest test.
Throughout the years, you've won the Hex Fight Series belt, Diamondback
Yep.
belt,
Yep.
Super
Yep.
Fight belt,
Yep.
and you're undefeated as a professional. But as an amateur, you did have one setback. I want to go back to that because you fought at welterweight. At
That was
what is it, Cage Conquest 3? What is
yeah.
the story behind that? There's got to be something right there.
So that was actually not the heaviest that I've fought at. I've actually fought at a catch weight of 82 kilos. So I'm basically, when I was around 15, 16, I was like pushing nearly 100 kilos. I think it was like 95, 98 kilos. And I just started training and I dropped the 10, 15 kilos, got down to 80 kilos. And my coach just wanted to get me a fight at the time because I seemed to be doing very well in the gym. So, yeah. So I started fighting at 80 kilos. But going back to the fight at Cage Conquest, fighting at 77 kilos, had no, like no knowledge on anything like dietary wise, like knowing what to eat, like I still remember after that weigh-in, driving home from the weigh-in, me and my brother both fought on that card. We were having Nutella sandwiches on the way home. That was our refuel. It's so bad thinking about it now, but we didn't know any better. We literally had Nutella sandwiches on the way home after making weight.
Delicious though.
Yeah, delicious, but man, you don't do that if you're fighting the next day.
So what did you learn from that experience? You don't know nothing about diet. You're performing in the cage. It must have not been up to your potential.
No, I was for someone that fights at featherweight now. I was carrying a lot of fat at 77 kilos. Literally, I just wouldn't eat dinner and I just wouldn't eat the day and I'd make weight. That was basically it, So I didn't really cut weight for 77 kilos. But yeah, all the dietary stuff I've learned through just experience myself. Read up some books, watched a lot of other fighters what they tend to eat. So yeah, just knowledge, trying to figure out my own what works for me.
On top of that, did you get like a professional to help you out with your diet? Have you done that recently? No, you've been doing it all on your own.
I've been doing it on my own. Besides my last fight for Super Fight, I had Jordy Sullivan on the fight dietitian. He helped me out, cut 66 kilos. Felt pretty good making the 66 kilos. Yeah, that was the only time I've ever had any help.
But you don't need no help this time because you're fighting.
Nah,
Yeah.
no, I'm happy. I'm happy fighting upper weight class. It's nice. It's nice.
You just got to clean it up, right? Just get it clean, but
Yeah,
the portions are good.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. And yeah, I'm not draining myself. I'm not killing myself. It's always, for me, to make the 66 kilo division, it's always, the last 3 kilos. Those are the ones that suck. because usually I could diet down to 70 kilos, so it's less. I could diet down to 69 kilos, but yeah, the last 2 to 3 kilos suck for making featherweight.
Super fight. That was almost a year ago. And, when we talked last, you said outside of camp, you like to focus on skill set or particular techniques. What have you been working on outside of camp?
I actually been doing a lot of grappling lately. A lot of jiu-jitsu. Everyone's playing those leg lock games, playing all these 50-50 leg lock games, the heel hooks, all that stuff. It's become a trend, so I feel like I needed to catch up on that stuff because I've sort of neglected my jiu-jitsu for a long time. So been mucking around with playing with the legs, and yeah, just having fun with the training.
Have you went outside of Australia in the past 12 months just to train and kind of get different looks?
No, not really. Not really. We get a few. The gym that I train at, we always get tourists coming over and staying in Bondi Junction. So we got quite a few tourists coming in, and some of them are pretty good training partners. Like they all got different styles. So that's the only training that's changed pretty much. It's like get random people to come in. That's it.
I seen you working at Legends. Is that the main gym right now, or is it just one of the gyms that you've been visiting?
That's just one of the gyms that I've been visiting. So it's basically I do all my training at Igor's, and then I head to Legends for like a couple of sessions here and there with Alan Philpott, who's fighting for that one contract, one Warrior Series.
Yeah. How is it training with Alan Philpott? He has a lot of experience. He has big
And
fight experience.
he's one of them. Yeah, he's one of the most experienced guys, and he's not that much older. I think he's only like a year older than me, but he's like got close to like 40 something plus fights. It's crazy. Like I just always try to get information from that guy. That guy is so knowledgeable. Yeah, it's good training with him. He's very crafty striker, very good training partner. He knows that like when to push, and when to like pull back. Because a lot of training partners sometimes they just go 100%, 100%, 100%, and they don't know when to ease off. So, and he's like I said, he's just a knowledgeable guy. So it's good to learn off him.
Your coach Igor, what
Yep.
was his reaction when you finally put pen to paper?
So Igor is for everyone that knows Igor, he's a very stoic type of guy. He never shows too much emotion. He's always sort of got that blank face of like, great job. He's got that face where it's like no emotion, but oh, I'm so happy for you. You know what I mean? So I was actually at the gym training, doing my morning session, and then I got a phone call from my manager, and he said, "Yeah, look, it's done deal. Send us your details, blah blah blah." And me, I'm like about to burst into tears. I'm looking at coach, and coach is just that's all he's doing. He's just like shaking his hand, and like literally, I don't know, like after that phone call, I'm like in tears, and the first thing he says to me, he goes, "Josh, the training session isn't over. Hurry up, put your gloves back on. We're not done yet." I'm like, "Come on, coach. I literally just got the phone call, and you're already pushing me to finish this session still." It's like, "Oh, give me a break." But I can tell deep down he's over the moon. He's yeah, He's first homegrown fighter to make it to the UFC.
Yeah, it's huge, man. Huge for you, huge for the team, huge for your coach, man. All around, congratulations to everybody.
Yeah.
Now I seen that you brought in or you're working with two tall guys getting ready for Jalin Turner. Talk about those guys.
Oh, all right. So Charlie, who's a middleweight amateur champion, I think he's 3-time or 4-time Australian champion already, and he's a killer. He's a perfect. He's taller than Jalin. I think he's 6'7", 6'8", and he's a southpaw kickboxer. You don't get much like if you're trying to imitate somebody that can strike like that. You got to exaggerate a little bit. So we got someone like that, which I'm very grateful for. And then I have Joel Kendrick, who's actually trained with Jalin before. Joel's actually one of my closest friends, and yeah, so Joel has trained with Jalin, and also Joel's a tall guy. He knows how to he knows how to imitate Jalin. So it's awesome. Even though it is a short camp, like a short notice fight, I'm just trying to get in as much work with those guys because it's valuable. As much as I'd like to be training with guys my size, it's not happening. I've got to get ready for a guy that's another 5 inches taller than I am.
Going into this fight at lightweight, your first fight in UFC, what's the mentality?
Man, I've got nothing to lose. I go out there, I perform, I put on a fight. Win, lose, draw. I get to show everyone what I've been saying from the beginning is that, I belong there, and even at lightweight, I belong there, and I'm gonna show everybody that everybody that was supporting me that they were right. That I'm gonna go out there, put on a performance, and either way, it's gonna be a crowd pleasing fight.
Or last year I remember that you signed a management deal with FRM, right? And
Yeah.
I expected you to be signed with the UFC not much later after that, right? What happened with that whole situation?
So basically, I signed basically right after the super fight. Right after the super fight that I the title fight that I won, and I was expecting the same thing too, but I just felt like I had no real contact with them. And then when they did offer me a fight, it was like real short notice, and I'd hear about that fight before they heard about that fight, and it was, I think it was just too difficult with me being in Australia and them based in the States, that it was just too hard to communicate and plan things. And I just felt like I was just another number to them. I just felt like I just felt like I was just another client that, if he blows up big, then we can use him, or if he doesn't blow up big, oh well, he's just another number. You know what I mean? So I don't know. If I was living in the States, maybe it would have been different. But I think because I was here in Australia, that it made it a bit hard.
Yeah, definitely. Now you're with Guinan, right? Guinan Group.
Ginning Group.
Yeah, Guinan
Zen.
Group. Yeah, yeah. There are a
Yeah,
lot of good guys over there. You got Tyson, you got
yeah, yeah,
Ty, a
yeah,
long list. Great, great guy, great
yeah,
manager.
yeah.
Personal touch. He lives in Australia.
That's it.
Yeah, it's perfect, man.
Exactly.
Perfect
Exactly.
situation for
Exactly.
you.
That's one of the
Now,
things that attracted me to, is that he did live in Australia, and that we could communicate properly.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's doing major moves, man, outside of
he's
fighting too.
killing it.
So
He's killing
if
it.
you know who he is, you know what's up.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, featherweight, is that the plan after this fight? You go in there, wreck shop, go back to featherweight, or you're gonna be like,
One
hey,
hundred.
maybe I'm a lightweight. Maybe if I do
Nah,
really
nah.
well.
I'm not a lightweight. I'm a featherweight. Everyone's saying, oh yeah, exactly what you said. A lot of my friends say, Josh, if you feel good at lightweight, why don't you keep fighting? Because I've seen the size of some of these lightweights. Like, look at even Jalin. Look at the size of him. Like, um, it's just, that's not my division. Maybe I'll grow into it when the weight cut gets too much. But for now, like, I can make featherweight. It's not a problem. If I do have a training camp, it's an easy thing to make featherweight. But for this one, I'm just happy. I get to just clean up a little bit, clean up my eating, and still make lightweight. Be happy. Still have some chubby cheeks on me. Don't have to go all skeletal face on on me. But
Yeah.
I featherweight 100%. After this, we're going back down to 145, and then I get to show where I feel I fight the best.
And it is short notice, but you do have a few weeks. Plus, it's not that far from where you're living. You're gonna get on a plane. What is it? 2 hours, and you're there.
I've never been to Auckland, so I wouldn't know
Okay.
the time. But I'm so G to go to. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to go to Auckland.
All right, man. One last thing before I let you go. You said that this is the beginning of your career, basically the next phase of your career.
Yeah.
But you probably think of this all the time, or maybe you don't. I don't know. But I'm going to ask you the question anyways. Success in combat sports. Do you feel it lies with belts, money, or legacy? What is your thoughts on that?
Um, when I first got into this sport, it was always to fight the best. I always thought that fighting the best meant you were the best, meant you get the most money, meant you get the most fame, meant all that stuff comes with having the mindset of just thinking that you're the best, thinking that you can beat the best guys, and just constantly fighting and beating the best guys. So to answer your question, I think it lies in legacy, because the the more you win, the more people recognize you, the more people, the more money you'd make, the more sponsors you have. It all comes down to actually fighting. So you got to fight the good guys. You don't want to pad your record fighting bums. Well, there is no bums in the UFC anymore, but you can't. You got to be fighting the top guys constantly, and I think it is the legacy. I think you got to fight the best guys, and that's what's gonna stay. Money comes and goes, fame comes and goes, but those records, your records, the legacy that you leave for yourself, and the way you held yourself as well. So, legacy for me, not fame, not money, but having that legacy that I fought the best guys.
The journey starts February 23rd, UFC on ESPN Plus 26, Auckland, New Zealand. Josh, man, I'm so happy for you, man, because, we
Thank
spoke
you.
before, and,
I know.
I've seen you rise through the ranks, and it's great to see, man, that they're giving the fighters chances out there in Australia.
I know. It's been a journey, but we are here now. And like I said, I just got to take it with both hands, take this opportunity and chase and just go for it, 100%, 110%, give my all, and whatever happens, happens.